It all began on a Thursday, the most uneventful day of the week, which is perhaps why the universe chose it to turn my life upside down. One moment I was contemplating the structural integrity of a particularly ambitious sandwich. The next, a beam of iridescent light enveloped me, and the world dissolved into a hum of cosmic energy. I awoke not in my kitchen but in a sterile white chamber, alongside 9 other bewildered individuals. Our captors, towering beings with skin like polished obsidian, and more limbs than I could comfortably count, introduced themselves through a universal translator as the Galactrons. They explained, with a chillingly calm demeanor, that they considered humans a potential delicacy. A rather unfortunate turn of events for us, to be sure. The Galactron civilization, for all its gastronomic curiosity, held a strict ethical code. They were forbidden from consuming species that demonstrated high levels of logic and cooperation. They were unsure if humanity qualified, so they devised a test, a single puzzle to determine our fate. It was a test of the mind, a challenge that would require us to think not just as individuals but as a cohesive, logical unit. The head alien explained that the 10 of us would be arranged in a single file line, one behind the other, all facing the same direction. We would be ordered by height, tallest in the back to shortest in the front. This arrangement ensured that each person could see the heads of everyone standing ahead of them, but never the person behind, nor their own reflection. Once we were in position, one of its multi-jointed assistants would place a hat on each of our heads. The hats would be one of 2 colors, stark black or brilliant white. The distribution would be completely random. There could be 5 of each, 9 of one and 1 of the other, or any combination in between. Starting with the person at the absolute back of the line and moving sequentially forward, each of us would have to guess the color of our own hat. We were permitted to say only one of 2 words, black or white. Any other utterance would result in immediate and catastrophic failure. The aliens with their super-advanced senses would be listening for the slightest infraction. To be deemed logical and cooperative, at least 9 of the 10 guesses had to be correct. We were allowed a single mistake. 1 wrong answer was permissible, but a second would seal our fate. A system based on pure luck would statistically lead to 5 wrong guesses. A disastrous outcome. We needed a plan that could generate certainty from a sea of unknowns. As the rules settled in, a wave of despair washed over our small group. The problem seemed utterly insurmountable. How could anyone know the color of their own hat? The person at the front of the line has absolutely no information to draw upon. They can see nothing but the sterile white wall of the chamber. Their guess would be a complete shot in the dark. The true challenge was the severe limitation on communication. Our only output was the guess itself. We wrestled with various flawed ideas. What if the first person counted all the black hats and tried to communicate the number? This was impossible. They could only say black or white, not 7 or 4. What if they modulated their voice? The aliens had already forbidden that, warning us against using intonation or volume as a code. The crux of the matter was that the first person's guess was the only one that had to be a sacrifice. They had a 50% chance of being wrong, and there was nothing they could do to improve those odds. Their role, therefore, was not to save themselves, but to save everyone else. They had to use their one word to pass crucial information about the 9 hats they could see. The question was, what single piece of data could be encoded into the choice between black and white that would create a chain reaction of correct deductions? Then, a flicker of an idea emerged, whispered among our group in the final moments. It was a concept both simple and profound: parity. The first speaker would not be guessing their own hat color. Instead, their word would be coded information for everyone else. We agreed on a simple rule. The first person would count the number of black hats they see. If that number is even, they say white. If it's odd, they say black. Let's walk through an example. Imagine the person at the back sees 5 black hats and 4 white hats. 5 is odd, so she declares black. She doesn't know her own hat. 50% chance of being wrong. Our one allowable error. Prisoner says, black. Everyone heard her say black, so they know there was an odd number of black hats among the front 9. That single bit of information changes everything. Prisoner 9 heard 10 say black, expecting odd. He counts 4 black hats ahead. Expected odd, but sees even. His own hat must be black. He announces black with absolute certainty. The chain cascades down. Each person uses the initial parity and subsequent guesses to determine their hat with 100% accuracy. Every time a person declares black, the expected parity for the next person flips. This self-correcting system guides 9 people to guaranteed success. The beauty of the parity strategy is its robustness. It works flawlessly regardless of the random arrangement of hats. The first prisoner, in sacrificing their guess for the group, provides foundational knowledge that ripples down the line. Each subsequent prisoner becomes a crucial link, using information they hear to interpret what they see. The system self-corrects. As we explained our strategy to the Galactrons, a low hum of approval resonated through the chamber. We had demonstrated logic in the face of ambiguity and cooperation in the face of mortal danger. This riddle demonstrates the power of cooperative thinking. Alone, each prisoner faced impossible odds, but by agreeing on a shared system and trusting each other to execute it perfectly, they transformed a hopeless situation into a solvable one. The solution required one person to sacrifice their correctness for the collective, embodying that sometimes group success requires an individual to play a specific, selfless role. It's a testament that a coordinated team can achieve what brilliant individuals cannot. We were returned to our lives as abruptly as we were taken. The sandwich in my kitchen was still there, looking decidedly less ambitious than before. The prisoner hat riddle serves as a powerful reminder that the greatest challenges are overcome not with brute force, but with elegant logic and unwavering teamwork. We outsmarted the aliens, not because any one of us was a genius, but because we learned to think as one. By establishing a clear system and trusting every member to do their part, we synthesized information to create certainty that no single member possessed alone.